Hey, you guys. How's it going? Happy Friday. It's Friday, gotta go live on Friday. I'm really surprised I haven't done that yet, and also I'm sorry for doing it right now. Today we're going to be talking about something that we love to talk about, and that is how to use play to make more beautiful photos, better photos, more connected photos of your kiddos.
Yeah, so we're so glad that you're joining us today. We have two kiddos of our own, so this is a topic that is particularly interesting to us. We have failed in a lot of ways, figuring out how to take photos of our children without them being blurs or without us frustrating them to death.
Them looking miserable.
Yes, because we are saying, sit still.
Yeah.
Be quiet.
Yeah, totally.
So let us know if you have kids or nieces or nephews. Give us a little thumbs up. Let us know that you can hear us and that this stream is working. And we'll dive into the content.
Yes, so we are Graham and Ashley. We're the Scobeys, and we're wedding photographers based in Colorado. We just got home yesterday, rolled back into town with Poppy, our pop-up camper, from a 2-week road trip. So we've been spending a lot of time playing with our kiddos and taking photos of our kiddos. Yeah. And if you guys are anything like me, because I'm a mom and I'm normal, right? I think I'm normal. I think this is normal. You have said these things to your children. Just sit still and smile, right? In like the most frustrated voice, like, so help me God, if you do not smile for this picture, I will take away every ounce of happiness in your entire life, right? You will no longer feel joy. Things like that, right? Which doesn't usually work out in our favor as parents when like all we want is a gorgeous photo of our kiddos that we can cherish, and we try and like muscle it out of them. We try and like make them participate and smile at the camera, right? Act your age. When the thing is that they are acting their age, right? Children are like, they're such children. It's the worst. But what they want to do, the last thing they want to do in the world is sit still and smile for my picture. That's so boring. It's awful. I'm like, don't move your body. I know that everything in you wants to move your body, but don't move your body. Look at me. I know that you want to look at like the tree over there or the car over there or whatever, but look at me. And also I'm going to get mad at you about it, right? Like that's always how it goes. So we're going to talk a little bit about how you can use play to really elevate the pictures that you take of your kids and to help photography, help picture taking to be a process that they can kind of partner with you on and that they can enjoy, right? The last thing that we want is when we take out our cameras for our kids to be like, no, mom's got the camera again, run. That's not what we want. We want our kids to like really enjoy it and have fun with it and be able to understand that they are just as much a part of photography as the person with the camera in their hands. Because, go ahead.
I was just going to say, these are things that we've had to learn the hard way through 10 years of being parents.
Yes.
But also, over 10 years of photographing other families and kids, you have learned a lot of things that work and things that don't work and best practices that could potentially help somebody that's watching get good photos of their own children.
Absolutely, because here's one rule about photography when it comes to human beings, and probably pets too, but I don't do a lot of pet photography, so I'm not sure. The happier your subject, the better the photo.
Yeah.
Every single time. So our goal as photographers or parents who are taking pictures of our kids should be to help them be happy, help them enjoy the process, because the happier they are, the better your picture is, and it's a win-win, right? So when we invite our kids to play, when we invite them into the process of playing, we get these pictures that are more connected, they're more authentic, and you get to look back at these photos and you're like, for me, it's like, oh my gosh, that's totally Webb when he's 5, right? That was totally Evie when she was 8. Like that face right there, I wouldn't have gotten if it was a sit here and smile type of moment, right? So it's really, really important for us as parents to know, not only why are we doing that, but how are we doing that? And so we'll talk a little bit about kind of the process and some examples of that. But when we invite our kids to play, it really takes us out of the space of like forcing an image, and it lets beautiful things happen that we may have missed otherwise. We may not have had the creativity to get us there, but because we're photographing like a 2 and a 4 and a 6-year-old, they've got it, right? Yep. Their ideas are like way better than mine. So sometimes on a family shoot, if you're one of my families, just, this is totally normal. But sometimes on a family shoot, if I run out of ideas, I'll be like, hey, what do you want to do? You know, because that is where the best ideas come from. Because they're like, we want to pick our nose and rub our butts on people. And it's like, perfect. Sounds fun, right? Because it can be such an anxious thing. And even with parents, I see this all the time. Like, taking family photos is an anxiety-ridden process. Yeah. And when you're anxious, you're not connecting with the people that you love. And when you're connecting with the people that you love, you don't feel stress. Yeah. You just feel like excited.
Yeah, Africa brought up a good point that like telling kids not to move, it just encourages anxiety in your children.
Oh my gosh, so very much, right? Because it's not what they're built for. Like, children are hardwired at this biological level to wiggle and scream and make farting noises. I mean, like, that's all they want to do is dance and move because it's a part of their development. And so, I mean, that's a whole nother talk for a whole nother day. But for us to constantly tell them to sit still goes against everything that their body is telling them to do. Yeah. And it just causes attention.
So we've talked a lot or a little bit about things that we shouldn't do.
Yes.
So how, like, what's the secret sauce? What do we do instead of telling them to sit still and smile?
Yes, totally. So the secret sauce is just to play. So when I started shooting families, which is, we are wedding photographers, that's like our bread and butter. But I feel like I'm on vacation when I'm shooting families because it is, and the more we got into the parenting stage of life, the more I enjoyed taking photos of kids because it is just so easy to connect with little ones. They have no inhibitions. They're not worried about like how this is going to look on their Instagram, like at all. You know what I mean? Like,
until they turn 10. And then Evie has started to wonder about those things. She doesn't have Instagram, but she doesn't have very curious about Instagram.
Yeah, that poor kid. She's like super deprived. Like, she's like, Mom, when do I get a phone? I'm like, I guess when you learn how to drive, because that's when you're going to need one. Like, we homeschool our kids, so we're with them all the dang time. So she doesn't need a phone. Ridiculous. So here are my favorite ways to play. Actually, back up. Before we tell you our favorite ways to play, what I did to kind of figure out some of these and what you can do to figure out your own is I put myself in the mindset of like a 6-year-old, right? I'm 6. I'm going to the park. I'm in like my matchy-matchy outfits with my siblings and my parents. And what do I want to do? Yeah. Right?
If you're watching live right now, like, put yourself in that space and leave in the comment, like, what do you want to do as a 6-year-old when you're out walking in a park with your family?
Totally. And the answer is never look at the camera and smile while standing angelically.
Yep.
Never, ever. So I kind of like put myself in that place just to have a few ideas kind of in my toolbox of things I could do on family shoots if I needed to kind of just change the pace or invite the kids into the process of playing. Okay. And what those are is, number one, my fave, tickle fights. Okay. Tickle fights are so fun and they get the best reactions ever. Homeschool does rock, sister. You are right. They're just the most fun thing ever. And they get these kind of laughs. They get the kind of laughs that like are like,
that's awesome.
You can hear them when you see the picture. And it's just as easy as like, sometimes I'll go like really casual. I'll just be like, okay, kids, I just want you to like hang out there, like be boring. Don't be fun.
Definitely don't be fun.
No. Think about things like broccoli. Okay, and like boiled carrots. Like, this is not a cotton candy moment right now. Okay, we're just gonna be boring for a second, and then I'll be like, tickle fight, and they're like, what did she say? Why is she yelling at us? And then they just go kind of crazy, and it's just super, super fun. A very easy way to invite kids into the process of play, and also to let them know that like it's okay to enjoy this. Right? Like, making fun of being serious is like being a little sarcastic with them is a really good way to let them know that like this is not a punishment. right? You're not in trouble right now. Like this is just supposed to be fun for you. So tickle fights is my number one, super easy. Another one is red light, green light. Okay, so one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken, actually in my life, is
Your
this
whole
one.
life.
I really do think it is. Mostly because it felt like winning the lottery, because they were all looking like in my direction and smiling, like perfect. But this is a family. They have triplets and there's an older brother. And this photo was taken by us playing red light, green light. And it's the game we all know and love, right? Like there's nothing special about this. Everyone has played red light, green light and knows how to play. Sometimes I go a little crazy and I like add a variable and it's like yellow light, and yellow light can either mean dance party or twerking or going backwards or making silly faces. Choose whatever you want to do. Choose your own adventure. Red light, green light is a really, really fun way to invite kids into playing when it comes to photography. Another one is Simon Says, okay? And the thing I love about Simon Says is that it is an opportunity to keep control over over what kids are doing without making them feel like they're being controlled, right? So like what a beautiful thing to be able to be the boss and like have your kids not actually know that you're being the boss because they just feel like they're having fun. So Simon Says is like a super tried and true favorite. In this picture, it was like, Simon Says, jump up as high as you can, right? And you get this great moment with kids just getting to be kids. And the photograph, to me, my favorite photos that I've ever taken of my own kids and other people's kids too, though, is when they're really free to like let loose and be themselves. So you can use Simon Says too, like if you really need a normal sitting and like smiling at the camera, being still kind of picture. Simon Says, be as still as a popsicle and smile. You can kind of incorporate that in there and then you get your picture.
As long as you've done a few, like Simon Says, be crazy and run around
totally
before that,
yes,
right?
Let them get their energy out. But it's so fun because the kids get to like be fun even though they're being controlled. So it's kind of like a Jedi mind trick. It's kind of amazing. Another one, I don't have a picture for this one, but another one that I really love is like food fights, right? So if we're sitting down and we're having a family movie night and there's a bowl of popcorn involved, the best way to get my kids to like have fun and loosen up is to be like, hey, I bet you can't hit my camera with that piece of popcorn, and then the photos are like these great like popcorn flying, everybody laughing type of pictures. So those are just some of my favorite examples. And like I said, just put yourself in the mind frame of, I am a 6-year-old. What do I want to do? What sounds fun to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I was going to add to that,
Ooh,
Sasha says the floor is lava.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah. That's a great idea. The floor is lava. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do? And capture the craziness that ensues.
I love it.
One thing I was going to add to all of that is being able to know how to use your camera when you're photographing your kids is really, really important. One thing that happens for all photographers, no matter what your subject is if you don't know your camera well, it becomes an obstacle to creating photos that are meaningful and beautiful. And so understanding what settings I need to use in order to get this photo allows that obstacle to move out of the way for you. Totally. So that you can get that photo that's in your head out into the world.
Right. So things that we know about kids. They move a lot. Right? So you can kind of figure out, like, I know what I'm going to be shooting, so how can I set myself up for success in that shooting process?
Yes.
So, like, that picture of the kids running, right? If I had shot that at a shutter speed of, like, 1/25 of a second, I've been screwed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Same with the kids jumping, right? It's capturing that moment in time. Mm-hmm. So knowing I'm going to use a high shutter speed. Mm-hmm. It's almost as if I'm shooting sports or wildlife that's moving. Like, I need to have
totally wildlife that's moving.
that is what it is, right? Shooting kids is shooting wildlife.
Yes.
So having a high shutter speed, being able to capture that moment in time, stop that moment, is important. And in order to have a high shutter speed, we know that we have to compensate with the two other factors that we have in our exposure triangle, right? And this is something we've talked about in videos before. So if you haven't seen those, head over to our YouTube channel, thescobeys.youtube.com. No, sorry, youtube.thescobeys.com. Yes, that's the one.
That's the one.
And you can check out those videos as well. But if I'm changing my shutter speed, aperture or ISO are going to have to change. Another thing is, if you have kids running forward and backward in your frame, then maybe stopping down a little bit, having a higher aperture, a smaller hole, which gives you a longer depth of field,
Right.
would be great, because even if your focus misses just a little bit, or it focuses and then they move and then you click the shutter, they might still be within that field of focus that you've set with your aperture. So just understanding how your camera works alleviates a lot of anxiety for you, the photographer or the parent or the uncle or the grandparent, whatever you are, and allows you to just create those memories and capture those moments that are so special.
Totally. And it just it takes away kind of the guesswork, right? There are already so many unknowns when you're photographing kids, because you never know what they're going to do. You never know what they're going to say. You never know anything, right?
So true.
But what we do know is that they're probably going to be moving, right? So we probably want a high shutter speed, and we probably want a longer depth of field, because they're going to be going back and forth and moving all around. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. That's our advice on creating beautiful photos of your children using play.
Play.
If you have ideas, like Sasha said, the Floor is Lava game.
I love it.
Love that.
Yes.
We're totally going to take that and steal it and use it. But what's your favorite way to capture your children or your nieces and nephews or the kids that are in your life?
Yeah.
Drop those in the comments below. Give us a little thumbs up if you liked this video, you like this stream. If you're watching this on Facebook, head over to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.thescobeys.com. I'm going to get it right this time.
You got this.
And hit the little subscribe button and then the bell next to the subscribe button. That'll let you know every time we go live. We do these every Friday, but then we also create more, fully produced videos on YouTube about various topics. So make sure that you're subscribed on YouTube. The other thing that we're doing over there is we just hit 100 subscribers, and so we did a big giveaway, and that was really exciting for us. We are aiming at 1,000 for the next one, and we're going to do an even bigger giveaway. So if you are subscribed to our channel when we hit 1,000, you are entered to win a really cool photo prize package along with some of the courses that we've produced for photographers. And if you're curious about learning how to photograph children or anything else, and getting that camera out of your way, removing that obstacle, learning how to shoot in manual, we've put together a free little resource. You can see it at the link below, manualbootcamp.com. You'll just enter your email address and we will shoot that right to you. It is a cheat sheet for how to shoot in manual. And yeah, I think that's it. Sasha, we love you too. We really do. And Laura in Africa, thanks for joining us and for your comments. And yeah, we will see you guys next Friday.
Next Friday, same bat time, same bat channel.
All
That's
right.
what it is, right? That's what they say.
I think, yeah, let's go with that.
Same. Yeah. Bye.
All right, see you guys. Bye.